Well, well, well. I guess it's that time once again. Yep, I have just decided just to finish off the top 10 ugliest monster truck series, and, well, my only struggle here is that I just couldn't think of any more ugly monster trucks, but fortunately I was able to pull off a miracle. But let me give you a little disclaimer. This will be the last one. Okay? Alright, let's go. And at number 10 we have well, I am going to be regretting this, won't I? Number 10 is Megalodon. You can thank Monster Jam and 24/7 for me putting this on this list. I don't find it ugly, honestly. I was going to make this an honorable mention, but I just thought might as well get it out of the way. But I get why he thinks it's ugly. It's just, in my personal opinion, I don't find it ugly, especially compared to other trucks on this list. So, we're just going to move on. And at number 9, we have an Australian truck. I think this might be... No, it's not the first non-American truck. This is Outback Thunder. Outback Thunder is not a horse, but a truck that competes in Australia. And honestly, I don't know that much about the truck. If you thought this was bad, trust me, it's going to get a whole lot worse. And number 8, we have the Crustacean. Now, I actually do like this truck. But honestly, I could see where people really won't like it. First of all, the shocks are just... I mean, I get why they're there. And I'm just glad they didn't, like, hide it under the body or something. I picked the orange version of this because, the blue version looks a lot more realistic, but at the same time, it doesn't really look realistic. And, honestly, the body just looks kind of flat, and it doesn't really look like a crustacean to me. Now... Obviously, I don't live in New England, so I bet you love your lobsters up there, boys. Alright, before we get to number 7, I just wanted to apologize if the last 3 were a little too fast. I just wanted to get this done as quick as I possibly can. Number 7 is Jurassic Attack. Now, it's a truck, I think it's guaranteedly retired, but I picked the original one from 2006 first because this one just, the paint scheme, and this is not a series that judges on paint schemes, but I just picked this one just because I like the baby blue one a whole lot more because that's the one I grew up with. This I never really grew up with. So, also I heard that it usually has the eyes where the windows are, just like Dragon is supposed to. And also, in 2009, I think, they said that that the driver would have to go through the windshield, or rather, there was no windshield, but eventually they did add a windshield to it, or at least they did, or they probably just took it off. And of course, the thing that the Stegosaurus has, which I forgot what it was. Sorry, I'm not into. I never really studied dinosaurs that much, so I just don't know. Okay, just don't judge me. And number 6, we have the World Finals 19 Chevy Nomad version of Avenger. Now, I did not like this when it first came out. I just thought it looked really silly. Now, of course, this is the one that Jim Kohler, when he came out on the track, did the parade around. And then by the time he got to his first jump, he launched forwards and then fell backwards and then just failed in the absolute worst way in the entire history of humanity. So, in my opinion, the body just looks very, very scaled down from what it should be. Obviously, it doesn't look like it right now, but when it was on the track, it definitely looked a little small, in my opinion. It's just, I think the only thing that suits this Avenger is the 57 Chevy Bel Air. And unfortunately, the last year's 20th anniversary version that he ran was not much better. And also, I think the paint scheme just looked ugly on that body. And honestly, this might be a little biased, but this is the only Avenger that I kind of don't really like, besides World Finals 18 last year's. And number 5, we have Time Flies. Now, this is where things just go from slightly crazy to what on earth were they thinking. So here's Time Flies here. This is the ugliest paint scheme, Time Flies. Of course, this was the very first one in 2009 when it debuted, driven by Kelvin Raymer, and just the red and silver just doesn't look good on it. He only drove it at Anaheim in 2009, which he did very well in, but it's just the body's just weird. Of course, this is our regular body. It's a 1934 Ford, I think, or maybe 1938. I don't remember. But it's one of those years, and honestly, the front cab just doesn't look that good, in my opinion. Don't get me wrong. Now that I'm starting to look at it, I kind of like it, but it's just the body style just doesn't look right. And number 4, we have a truck that doesn't even exist yet, and that is Wolf's Head. If you don't know, this is actually a sponsored truck. Wolf's Head is, I believe, a brand of motor oil. I think that it is not a Monster Jam owned truck. It is, I think it's owned by Team Raising Cane from what I've heard. So that's pretty cool. Joined the trio of Raising Cane, Ice Cream Man, and Exterminator. But honestly, I don't even know if they could honestly do it, especially for let alone an independent, for them to get away with the 3D body, because you don't see very many 3D bodies that are independent, with several exceptions like Crustacean, Dirt Crew, and technically Exterminator, if you honestly want to say that, but that'd be kind of pushing it, so let's move on. And at number 3, we have probably the part in the video where it starts getting bad. This is bad to the bone. No, not Gravedigger, but this truck is bad to the bone, all right. But instead of it being bad to the bone, it's probably just bone to the bad trademark. This thing's just bad, and not the good bad, but just bad. I mean, look at what is those tusks? Not tusks, but front fangs on it. I haven't even seen the front of this truck, but honestly, I don't even think I want to see this. It's a truck I never even knew existed if it weren't for Joshua Chamberlain trying to find all the Monster Truck theme songs and everything. Shouts to him, because he's a good old friend of mine. And now we are back to the insanely biased trucks. Number 2 is Wonder Woman. I guarantee this truck has a lot of curves, and honestly, the nose is just not. I just don't like it. And the lasso is just the biggest nuisance on top of Captain America's shield. But the reason Captain America's not on here is because it's actually a real-life truck. They just added the wings and the shield and the A on the top. So, yeah. There's not really a whole lot to say. Also, there's a tiara on the top there. If you could barely notice that, right there it is. So yeah, this truck just is really not my cup of tea, or rather my cup of chocolate milk. Sorry about that little thing there. Yeah. And number 1, we have what is that? This is Craniac. Who on the living face of the earth thought of bringing this truck? Or thought of this truck, honestly. I mean, look at that. Look at this face here. Sorry for the bad quality. This was a very small photo. This was the best thing I could get of a good shot of it. But why? Why though? Just why? Alright, after about an hour of recuperation, I want to apologize if this video seemed a little too quick for you. So also I'm seeing sort of rainbows for some reason. I don't know. It's a pure white screen. I don't know what's causing that. So my question for you is, which number 1 out of all 3 top 10 ugliest monster trucks, which number 1 was the ugliest? Leave a comment down below if you think it's Project X, Bucking Bronco, or Craniac. I'll think of another top 10. Maybe it's going to be a top 20. Who knows? Hint, hint. So that'll do it for this video. Thank you for watching, and have a good day.